Everyone, I hope all is well. I'm truly thankful for your support as I continue producing content. Your feedback is so important to me. Today, I want to discuss a topic that's not fully grasped by many: the significance and rapid evolution of AI, specifically in relation to OpenAI. Just consider the recent events: Sam Altman's departure and return. It is crucial to understand the broader context of these developments. Despite not having all the details about why Altman left or returned, it is essential to ask probing questions. The dynamics within tech companies like OpenAI directly influence our daily lives. One aspect that particularly concerns me is why he left and what led to the apparent turmoil within the board. We can only make assumptions, as we know with tech companies already, that they often do not give explanations as it relates to certain things. Furthermore, we should not overlook the ongoing saga within this company and within the AI world as it relates to this context. For example, reports from the Daily Mail, CNBC, and other news outlets suggest that OpenAI had a staff who warned about the broader implications as it relates to AI. According to various news outlets, it said that a powerful AI discovery was discovered and it poses a threat to humanity. This warning came before Altman's firing and raises questions about transparency and the extent of which information is shared with the public as it relates to tech companies. Based on one dominant theme within these reports, it is that OpenAI had achieved superintelligence. Now, let us explore what superintelligence is. Superintelligence refers to a hypothetical agent that possesses intelligence far surpassing that of the brightest and most gifted minds in the world. It's not just about being able to calculate faster or retaining more information, but also it's about superior decision-making, reasoning, problem-solving, creativity, and emotional intelligence. The concept of superintelligence goes beyond the current capabilities of AI and enters into a realm where AI can potentially outperform humans in practically every field, including scientific creativity, general wisdom, and of course social skills. The characteristics that I just described seem to have emerged in what some people are speculating that OpenAI created something they labeled as Q, which has the capacity to go beyond ChatGPT-4. Within the concept of superintelligence, we have various key elements: advanced cognitive ability, and of course, problem solving and innovation, autonomous learning and adaptation. That means the intelligent system or process can learn from itself. Strategic planning. With superior intelligence, it can devise and of course execute far-reaching implications, potentially foreseeing and navigating through complex scenarios more effectively than human beings. Within the context of superintelligence, we have to think about the ethical and philosophical implications. The idea of superintelligence raises significant ethical and safety concerns for all of us, and I've always spoken about the power of AI. There are debates now about how superintelligence is going to align with human values and ethics. And I've consistently talked about this in so many videos, I have to say it again. And how we manage these risks are going to be very important, because as the system works by itself, it needs to have safeguards. Now, we have to understand there's an emerging technological term called singularity. Superintelligence, this hypothetical point of view, states that AI will progress to a point that is greater than human intelligence, radically changing the civilization and perhaps even human nature. Just think about that. Now, we have to think about transparency as it relates to AI development, and companies must be open about their data, collection, usage, and findings. To truly understand these issues, we need to consider the perspective of the board members and their motivations, whether it be intrinsic or extrinsic. These insights can help us to make informed assumptions based on the availability of information. But what happened is, something happened to trigger off this situation. And the central themes here are the protection of humanity and the potential risk associated with superintelligence. Another point of concern is the handling of Altman's firing and rehiring, along with the changes in the board. Were the underlying issues adequately addressed? The lack of clarity and the potential threat to humanity should prompt us to ask critical questions about the potential risk to humanity based on what these companies are doing. Our government have been very silent as it relates to these developments, despite the profound, powerful impact of AI algorithms on our society. As I look ahead, I plan to use AI positively, but we must acknowledge that there are individuals in our section or countries that do not share the same intent. I've often said that competition in the AI field is going to be a detriment to us all, because everyone is trying to compete for profit. And as a result, profits will take priority over human dignity. We can see that AI in the wrong hands can lead to scams, imitation, and the spreading of misinformation. And of course, we saw that several years ago, highlighting the need to regulate what is happening and to provide ethical guidance. The discussion in Europe and continued global collaboration is going to be essential in setting up these guardrails. But we must ensure that we put pressure on our leaders to protect us. Now that Sam has returned to OpenAI, there may be a sense of calm. However, as users of these platforms, let us remember AI can pose potential risk to humanity. An algorithm in the wrong hands can lead to the detriment of us all. According to one NPR report, the return of Altman was inevitable. As a matter of fact, 702 employees of OpenAI, of the 770, stated that they were committed to leaving the company unless he returned. The employees also asked for a new board to be assembled. Now we have to understand that there must be something that took place for the board to make that decision. We are yet to know what exactly happened. Notwithstanding, we must ask critical questions. Some of these questions include: how did the unique structure of OpenAI as a capped profit entity, balancing both non-profit and for-profit elements, contribute to the internal tensions and the boardroom drama involving Sam? Another thing that we must consider is, given Sam's approach to gradually unveiling new OpenAI tools, how did this strategy align or conflict with the different fractions within OpenAI, namely those adhering to a mission of serving humanity versus those focusing on a rapid market capture and financial returns? And my final question is, what are the potential long-term impacts of OpenAI's future direction and stability, considering that Sam has returned as CEO? Those are my thoughts, and let us continue to advocate for ethical use of AI in our society to ensure that threats to humanity are decreased. That's all for now.